What is going down, everybody? Another action-packed episode of MojoBreak.com's The Hype, episode number 58, paying homage to the late Derek Thomas of the Chiefs. We're going to be joined later by Rob Bertrand from Go GTS Live, and we're going to be talking NFL, sophomores, and rookies, and who to invest in now that we've gotten past week one and we've seen some performances on the field. So it's going to be a nice show, so tune in for that. We've got new products today. We're going to be breaking Spectra NFL, which lots of color, lots of parallels, lots of primes, on-card Super Bowl signatures, 11 hits per box in our 4-box breaks. That's 44 hits in our 8-box random case break, which is going down tonight. That's 88 hits. Great value. And Bowman Tech. Dan, how did you like the new releases today?
I loved it. I actually loved Bowman Tech. Pleasantly surprised. It was okay last year. It was a good value last year, getting 4 autos. But I think you were alluding to it earlier in one of our breaks. They didn't give any shaded area for the autographs.
Last year,
which they did this year. A huge improvement. They have a little shaded area where the auto actually pops on the card, where last year the auto seemed to just kind of blend into the background because the cards are super colorful and there's a lot of different like designs going on in the background. So when you put an auto on there, it kind of just gets lost.
Absolutely.
Where this year they did a phenomenal job redesigning it. At the price, $100 a box, probably one of the best baseball values I have seen all year. Because we have seen tons and tons of products shoot up after release. For whatever reason, this hasn't been one of them so far.
Right.
I think it may go up. It has all the prospects you want.
Yeah.
And we're pulling all of them. We were pulling Acuna. We were pulling Joe Adele. There was again, you got to remember
we're getting like multiple McKays.
But you got to remember there's 48 on-card autographs.
In a case. Yeah, that's amazing value.
It's kind of the closest thing to, it's not quite Bowman Sterling, but it's kind of the closest thing we have now.
Yeah.
Where it's just, a lot of on-card prospect autos, and props to Tops on that one.
Yeah, and you can check out those breaks at MojoBreak.com. We've got random of Bowman Tech today, like once Dan said 48 autos. I think there's 24 total spots, so we've comboed up some teams for you there. Or you can try out a Pick Your Team break. And listen, in a couple minutes, there's going to be a special code to save some money on Pick Your Team breaks on our site, MojoBreak.com. If you've never bought into a box break before, you just listen to the podcast or watch the show. Basically, you get a whole team for a case, and any auto, relic, or any base card that comes out is going to be yours. So it's a crowdsourced collecting in a sense, because you could buy the case for $1,200 or $1,300, or you could take a shot and get $60 a spot or whatever you decide to buy on our website, and take a chance and get crazy cards for your PC or whatever you're into. So it's a fun time. We're always live on YouTube and Ustream for those breaks. So MojoBreak.com, and everything's scheduled. So everything's guaranteed to fill that same day. So awesome value there. We've been doing this for over 8 years. So, but yeah, we're going to have, in about 10 minutes, we're going to have Rob Bertrand from Go GTS Live on the show. And we'll give you details on how to watch their show. It's an amazing show. Rob's a dear friend, been a friend of ours for a very long time. One of the nicest guys in this hobby. I mean, every time we're at the National or a Summit, wherever we run into him at, always got a smile on his face, always in a good mood, always positive, and it kind of transfers through, so which is great. So.
Absolutely. Can use more guys like that in the hobby for sure.
Absolutely. And you can use that code we just alluded to, Get Hits, for 16% off any Pick Your Team style break on the site. It's a flash code. It could go at any time. So load up. And we've got a lot of pre-sales on the website. There's Immaculate Basketball. You can get in. If you want immediacy, you can get into the Spectra High Tech and use that code Get Hits, all one word, 16% off any Pick Your Team break on the site. And we've got those breaks happening right after the show. We've got Spectra kicking off right after the show here. So be able to go ahead and check that out. Use that code. Tell your friends and save big on that.
I was actually reading, since we're talking about Spectra, they have reverse boxes. Are you hip to these?
Oh, yeah. I heard about that, too.
They have boxes that are going to be 7 autographs.
So it's actually more than 88 hits a case.
Or 7 autographs and 4 relics. So it's reversed.
Yeah,
so it's same amount of hits.
Yeah,
same amount of hits, but instead of getting 7 relics, you're getting 7 autos and 4 relics.
That's a cool element of chase.
That is
Very
cool, and I don't
nice.
know if those are falling 1 per case.
Yeah, they're 1 per case.
Yeah,
Just
so
like
wow.
dual autos,
Okay.
1 per case. Yeah.
so I mean,
we didn't hit that in the first half.
Didn't
of that
hit
case.
that in the first half. So get excited for that little added bonus. I don't think they're calling it hot boxes. It's reverse day.
It's reversed.
We don't call anything hot boxes or hot cases.
Nope.
Cold cases.
It's cold, cold cases.
So me and Dan, well, actually Dan fell victim to a scam over the weekend,
Whoa.
and it's all your fault. And I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention because there's stuff on eBay, especially if you're a new collector and you're looking for autos and stuff like that. A lot of you guys could be green and you're learning as you go, like all of us have. You know, we jumped back into the hobby around 2010, and you know, you kind of learn some things and you kind of make some decisions that you're like, hey, probably shouldn't have bought that card. But you know, what went on here is just a flat out scam, and this person needs to be called out. It's WVU Fan for Life 2015 on eBay. So basically, we're buying for our next buyback, which is basketball. And I was going through, I seen Dan bid on this thing. You can see it on the screen. If you're listening to the podcast, I'll do my best to describe everything that went down. It was a LeBron James auto rookie card, SP Authentic Signatures, 2003 greatest of all time. And, you know, we started back collecting in 2010. I'm not completely familiar with 0304. I know that's his rookie year, obviously. So I was like, wow, that was pretty awesome. You get a LeBron James auto for $400. So I went through and I was like, wow, it looks pretty good. And I clicked on it. And if you go to the next slide, you'll see the description. It says LeBron James 0304 SP Authentic Signatures RP, which means reprinted card.
It says LeBron James auto rookie card.
Yeah.
0304. Now, in my defense, like, we buy a lot of cards.
Well, go back to the other slide. You can't even see the RP with the way
Exactly.
mobile.
So that, and I do like 99.9% of my eBay purchases are done on the mobile app. And the way I do it is I go through, and if I have some time, I'll see what auctions are ending. And I basically pepper bids on cards that I think would be viable for our buyback products. I see LeBron James, I see auto, I see signature. I honestly
Just dropping a bid.
I didn't even look at the 03. I just looked at the picture of the card, dropped a bid, and we won it at 405. I put an auto. I want to say my bid was a lot higher than that.
Right.
I think I put like 650 or 700, something like that. So I was just peppering bids, and looking at it like that. Doesn't that look like a LeBron James auto? The picture sure looks like a LeBron James auto.
It does. And keep in mind, RP. So this guy's obviously, he puts RP at the end of the title, which is, let's trick you as hard as possible by putting RP, because RP could mean anything. It could be RuPaul. It could be, I don't even know, what's an RP? I didn't think it would be reprint right out the gate. Why not put reprint in the title?
It's the same thing as maybe he meant to put SP.
Right.
And he put RP.
Exactly. Could be SP, RP, whatever. Regular print.
Regular
Instead
print.
of short print.
Yeah,
right? So this guy had the intention of scamming somebody, and this was an auction. So then I looked at the back of the card, and I'm like, did Upper Deck re-release an authentic signatures and reprinted it and put it in something else? And the indication on this is nothing of that nature. So if Upper Deck re-released this, you would see the year on the bottom of the card would be 07, 08 or whatever, or would say reprint. They wouldn't just re-release the card in this regard. So somebody printed this card up in order to capitalize off somebody who wasn't or was green or didn't know what was going on, and he did it as an auction.
Now, before I put my bid in, it was already at $300.
Yeah,
So
it was already at $300.
The card was already at $300 with multiple bidders. So somebody, honestly, if we didn't bid on it, somebody would have ended up winning that card for $300-$400, whatever it would have ended at, and they would have got sent a reprint without even knowing it was a reprint.
Correct.
And you could find reprints on eBay, and they're $5.
Right.
People have a buy it now, $5. When this guy saw that it went up to over $300, at what point was he going to be like, okay, there is either my listing is either super misleading,
Right.
or something funky is going on, like somebody's bidding this up and they're not going to pay for it.
Absolutely. And I normally wouldn't call somebody out for this because I would give people the benefit of the doubt. But my interaction with this gentleman got me so pissed that I'm like, I'm putting this on the show because the guy, so I'll read you the interaction with this gentleman. I said, don't want a reprint, please refund. He responded back with, why bid on a reprint? It's because you never read item description, ? So I responded back, why be sleazy and not spell out reprint in the title? He replies back, a limited amount of word space maybe. I should just assumed a card collector with over 5,000 transactions would know what RP meant, plus original card would go over 2.5K, refund on its way. So he gave me a refund, which is great. But the attitude right away. So it's like I have over 5,000 eBay transactions, so it's better if somebody has 10 eBay transactions that bids on the card. So you want somebody that doesn't even know that actually thinks this is a real card. That's what you're preying on. That's what I'm getting from that message.
That's what I got out of it. He's like, I want somebody green who's going to get this card and actually think it is what it is.
Right. So then I was like,
because if he wasn't trying to be shady, he would put reprint in the title.
Absolutely.
The first word should be reprint. 0304 Upper Deck SP, and plus you actually can't. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's trademark laws in place where
Correct.
you cannot make a reprint of a card and saying it's Upper Deck SP Authentic. You can't do that.
You can't even use the Cavaliers logo. That'd be the same thing like Coach.
You can't
Coach
use
purses
the NBA
jerseys.
logo.
Yeah.
You can't use the Upper Deck logo. You can't use the SP Signatures logo. I mean, this. Honestly, somebody should step in. Manufacturers should step in and be like, you cannot do this.
I mean, they can't stop free market with guys with 500 feedback. But so then I said to continue on the conversation, I was like, cool, I'm going to talk about this on our podcast. And for you not including reprint in the title and calling a card an auto, make sure somebody else doesn't fall for your tactics. You shouldn't be selling reprint cards. So he goes, that's a good point. About auto, I'll change that now. As of selling reprints, people sell them all the time. I don't care about your podcast. I really don't. But make sure you add it was in the item description and you did not read it. Did you really think that was that wasn't a reprint? Shocks me. So he posted it back up. I put it's up there. 3 days left. Nobody's bid on it, thankfully. Look how he put it back up there. So he just flat out lied. So he put it back up there same way with RP on the back. He shortened the title. And he put RP. Actually, he's got a lot of room on this one. He's got a lot more words to put in there, but he goes again and puts RP on there. And it says rookie card authentic signatures. So what does that tell you? If you're green. All right, so that's an authentic LeBron James signature. So this guy is absolutely scamming. I think if you guys have time, I would send him a message. I would send him a message and tell him to stop scamming. Literally, send him a message. Find that card on eBay. There's 3 days left. Say stop scamming because this is bad for the hobby. We're looking out for people that are trying to collect real cards, and there's people that are trying to take advantage of people. And we've been doing this for almost 10 years, and we buy hundreds of cards, and we fell for it. So what does that tell you about somebody that just came into the hobby?
Yeah.
A million people fell for it. So what the next slide with the reprint, this is how you correctly list a reprint. This is, in my opinion, this is how you do it. This is LeBron James. He put reprint as the first word, and he has it as a $5 or best offer. So nobody's going to overpay for a reprint that way. They're well aware this is a reprint. He actually put reprint twice. This is a different person. So if you have a reprint card, that's how you should list it. I mean, I wouldn't pay $5 for that card, but maybe somebody would. Maybe somebody would like that, but not $400. So then I put, when card went over $100, you didn't feel a little guilty? Would you pay $400 for a reprint of anything? And then I put, did Upper Deck re-release this, or did someone print it themselves? And he says, I never paid attention. Upper Deck released. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They did not release this. And I'm sure he paid attention as he was laughing that somebody was an idiot to bid on $400 of his cards, and he got $400 in his pocket to buy something else with. He was counting on that money, and he got pissed off. And then his last message was, I'm not responding to you because I'm going to pay attention to my fantasy football team. So WVU fan for life 2015. He doesn't have any other reprints, thankfully, but he's still trying to sell this as an auction. And he's trying to get people to bid this thing up and hopefully pay for whatever he wants at $300 or $400, which is, these people need to be called out. This hobby is there's a lot of good people in this hobby, and to do something like this is not good. So I'm not going to call ourselves a hobby police, but when stuff comes up like this, I wanna call people out on it. So it's kind of like if you You know, what were you talking about? If you know, Fiero, like a Fiero, you can get a body kit to make a Fiero a Ferrari. Would it be okay to put a Ferrari up on eBay Motors and say it's a Ferrari, and then in the description put, oh, by the way, it's a Fiero? Yeah, $400,000 or whatever. Would that be okay?
Yeah. That's. I mean, that is what we're looking at right now.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much the same thing. Like, sweet Ferrari, but it's a Fiero.
Or I'll take a picture of a real F-150 truck and put it up there, $20,000. Or actually, I'll start at 99 cents, just like this guy.
And you send him a Hot Wheel.
Yeah, or
like a replica.
Or in description, it says made out of Legos and paper mache. You know what I'm saying? So you're just gonna get like a body of a car. It's
I
not
like
gonna be
the
a real
idea
car.
of just sending somebody a Hot Wheel.
Right, yeah.
Like there you go. It's a replica. It's a
model car. So yeah, so just buyer beware on that. Make sure you make reprint or not. If it's really, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. It's probably somebody trying to get over on people. You know, especially with this old Upper Deck stuff and big names like LeBron. If you're trying to buy LeBron, be very careful and read things. And look at pictures and compare it to past sales and stuff like that. If something's normally selling for $10,000 and you're going to get it for $500, there's a problem. So be aware of these people's scams. And yeah, if we could message this guy, that'd be great. I would. Maybe he'll learn and not list cards like this anymore. So I wanted to get into our NFL conversation. We're going to bring Rob on here shortly. And week one, man. Football's back. I mean, I stood in front of this. Well, I didn't stand, but I sat in front of the TV pretty much all day Sunday. It was great. A lot of stuff going on. The red zone is perfect for my ADD. It was amazing. What did you think about week one?
It was great. Worked out. Monday worked out well. Rams showed up. Did work. Went into Oaktown. Beat them by 20. And, ruined Chucky's debut back since what, 2002, I think. And yeah, how you feeling about it, Conrad?
Based on last week's show, Conrad lost the bet. He's got to wear a Rams jersey for 4 weeks now.
Dude, I gave you 4 points.
Is that game used, dude? It looks like it's game used there.
It's been sitting in my closet for a while.
So what do you love about the Rams?
There's a lot to love.
This week I'll talk about actually that I actually do love genuinely Marshall Faulk, the player. I mean, what can you say about that guy? He was actually one of the only players I really tried to collect as a kid. So every time I open up a pack, I'm like, I wish I would hit a Marshall Faulk. And it was a card that was worth about like $40 back in the day, which is huge money, of course, when you're in elementary school. That one of my buddies had, so I always try to trade him for it. But yeah, that is my weekly love for the Rams right there.
Duke Nation says
soliloquy.
C-Rad, damn, looking good today, brother. He say can't put his finger on what it is. He said the yellow and blue were made for you, or the yellow and gold. Is that gold? Rams color gold?
It's gold.
All right.
That's the St. Louis Rams. That's the great Steven Jackson.
As a
He played well against the Niners. Every single time the Niners played, Steven Jackson would show up, do some work, run over Patrick Willis.
And if you're listening to it on the podcast, C-Rad is donning a Rams Steven Jackson jersey. So he is wearing it. I don't know if we'll wear the same one for 3 more shows.
No. I brought a Torrey Holt. They'll be in. I'll bring some other ones down.
All right, and before we bring on Rob, I wanted to give a proper introduction. Rob Bertrand has been a longtime member of this hobby. He's was the co-host of Cardboard Connection Radio, and now he's part of Go GTS Live show with Ivan, and it's a great show. It's on Thursdays. We'll give you guys more details when Rob's on how to find the show. And I'm sure a lot of you guys already listened to it, and they've got a lot of great guests. It's the longest. It was the first live video show for this hobby, and it's been the longest standing one as well. So Rob's a great guy. So we're gonna give him a call on the Mojo Break Boom Palooza hotline, and we're gonna talk some NFL. It was a great article that was on Go GTS Live's website. And we're going to talk some observations with him, and then we're also going to talk about some rookies and sophomores on what products they're in and how to invest and get these cards from some of these week 1 standouts. So we're going to hit him up on the, like I said, the Mojo Break Boom Palooza 5 case going down this Friday guest line here.
I like the little intro song there.
Doug-
Rob,
Dougie Fresh.
Hey, we are joined by Rob Bertrand from Go GTS Live. How's it going, man?
It's going well. WVU fan for life 2015. I'm still trying to get over the fact that, there's scammers, forgers, and counterfeiters on eBay.
I know. What a revelation.
You guys just ruined my whole day, man.
Well, we've got this segment called Hobby Crosstalk, and it's going to be a reoccurring episode with Rob. And we're also going to go on Go GTS Live, and it should be a really fun segment. And we'll notify you guys when that segment comes up. And we've been looking forward to this all week, Rob. And, tell people how they can find your show.
All right. We broadcast on Thursdays. This is about anywhere you want to watch us. Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube, Periscope. Basically, if you search Go GTS Live, you're going to find us. We're on at Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 for you guys.
Awesome. That is great. Yeah, and I've been tuning in. I think I was on the show about 6 months ago. We had a really good time, and look forward to going on the show again and chatting it up with you guys.
Well, to be fair, we got to bring on Dan before we bring you back on.
Oh.
Come on.
Just kidding. Yes, Dan's got to get on there, man. Dan's got to get on there and talk about his Ram love and all that other fun stuff.
I think I'll make the first appearance. I think that'll when we set that up.
I love it.
I'll do a little action. Yeah.
Well, we're going to jump into some week one observations before we get into your column. I was watching some NFL games over the weekend, and I had some observations. I kind of wrote them all down, and I just wanted to kind of give some talking points real quick about some stuff that happened in the NFL. First off, I wanted to say the Titans jerseys are awful. You guys agree?
Whoa.
The Titans jersey. I don't know what they did to them, but they look bad. I was watching it. I had to put some sunglasses on.
I like those new helmets. I like the new helmets.
Maybe I'm the only one.
Yeah, I don't know. They could have played a little better.
They could have. Or the game could have not lasted 8 hours, I think.
That's true. That's true. You had a lot of time to look at those jerseys.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 different 2-hour delays, lightning strike delays.
Yep. My next observation was Ryan Fitzpatrick looks like a fan from the stands. Did you guys get that too? I didn't even know it was still playing, by the way. Thought it was Jameis Winston.
Suit that guy up.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Looks like, hey, we need a quarterback. Looks like that guy in row 11 can play with the beard. Throw him in there. I also thought Jadeveon Clowney was playing offense for the Patriots and realized it was Cordero Patterson running routes out there.
Okay.
Based on size. Also, is it me or is it 50% of all high-scoring games have the Saints involved?
Is that dumb?
That's a good point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Saints, since Drew Brees has been there, they've been a team that's all about shootouts. So
absolutely.
You know, they were supposed to have a lot better defense this year, but based on that first game, I'm not sure.
Right.
Not sure.
Yeah. I don't think there's no defense there at all. Cowboys look like they needed Dez and Witten against the Panthers. I looked and I'd seen that Cole Beasley was their number one receiver.
Yeah.
I think Dak Prescott needs a little bit of help out there.
Just a little.
Rob, you're a Bears fan, correct?
Oh, stop, man. I have never had an emotional swing like I did watching that game. I mean, it was like, oh, here's the Bears that I know and love that showed up in the second half. But I'll tell you, Khalil Mack, wow, thank you, Oakland. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
He looked good. He definitely looked good.
Yeah, but that was such an insane swing of fortune. Ugh.
I don't know if you noticed the interview with Aaron Rodgers after the game, but it looked like he kind of sounded like how I sounded on our Off the Record podcast in Atlanta, which for some of our diehard listeners, they'll be able to find that in the archives. You know, I'm just saying, I had a few sodas. Rodgers, I think, had a few too many happy pills, and he had that look in his eye. I mean, I think they gave him the right amount of cocktails to not fall asleep, but to still stand for that game. So
it must be the only way he finished the game. Yeah,
I think so.
A little jacked up.
A little jacked up. So those were a few observations. We're going to get right into talking about the Go GTS article, which I thought was great, by the way. I love how you guys have pictures of, you know, some of the main cards and links to you know, eBay auctions and things like that where you can find these cards. So first off, we're going to talk AFC, and we can't start without talking about Sam Darnold. So what did you see from Sam Darnold's performance on Monday night?
Well, clearly he is the AFC Rookie of the Week. Despite that pick six where all of Jets Nation went, oh, here we go again. Welcome back, Mark Sanchez 2.0. The guy stuck with it and ended up, really solid performance. Finished with a QB rating over 116, couple touchdowns, almost 200 passes, only got sacked, passing yards rather, only got sacked twice. So I think he did really well under the bright lights of New York. So when you've got a skill position player, a big draft pick out of a major program, playing in a big market like that, I mean, talk about a perfect storm for collectors.
Absolutely. And I think he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder for not going 1 or 2 for that matter.
Can you name anybody? Can anybody name the other 2 quarterbacks that started off their career throwing a pick six?
Without the power of Google, I don't know.
I was talking about it yesterday.
Rob, you got it?
Rob, you know?
I saw a tweet go by from either Darren Ravel or ESPN, but I do not remember who they were.
All right, I'll say the first one, Jameis Winston.
Okay.
Okay.
And the second one, Brett Favre.
Wow. Okay. Kind of good company.
Not bad company.
Not bad.
Yeah, sure. He's got a 50-50 chance, it looks like.
That's
exactly. And the verdict isn't completely out on Jameis yet, so maybe.
Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick keeps on playing like that. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
Right?
Exactly.
So I've got some cards of Sam Darnold we're going to show on the screen that I felt this is actually a really good sign for Spectra, is that somebody listed a Spectra Darnold rookie patch jersey auto to 35 at a buy it now price of 225, and somebody clicked on it right away. So that means there's some value there that he's on the rise. I mean, from that week 1 performance.
Oh, without a doubt. I think the RPAs and Unparalleled turned out really nice this year.
Absolutely. And that's a good, kind of cheap box price point to get into if you're ripping a personal or whatever, if you're in the shop or opening packs. So the one thing I seen is Sam Darnold. They did play the Lions, so I want to see some more games from the Lions. But it was in Detroit, which is good. So
I was going to say, it was on the road.
It was on the road, and it was a big, Monday night game, a lot of pressure. I expect him to kind of continue the same against the Dolphins and the Browns. I know the Browns' defense looks better, but the next 2 games he's got the Dolphins and Browns, but then they play the Jags, which I think will be the litmus test. But if you're investing in Sam Darnold and you're looking for maybe a quick, maybe return on him, you may get a big, decent bump after these next 2 games because I expect him to kind of put up similar numbers in his first game.
Yeah, if you're a flipper, absolutely. I mean, look at his Origins on-card autograph, pen pals on-card. I don't know. You when we use the word invest in sports cards, it's always a little bit tricky.
Right.
When we're talking rookies, I think it's best to, go for the quick flip. I always worry long-term value on modern guys. But I definitely think there's an opportunity there with this guy. I mean, like you said, he's got a couple of cush games these next couple. Let's see what happens in week 4. But for now, I'd say he lived up to the hype.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we'll have
no pun intended.
Right. Yeah, I know, right? No pun intended on the show's title. But the next guy we've got here is we're sticking to the AFC theme. We're going to talk a little James Conner, which is an interesting situation with the Lev Bell situation. But we'll let
Le'Veon who?
Yeah,
Le'Veon
exactly.
who?
Who is he? Right? So
wow, talk about stepping up, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and talk a little bit about James Conner, Rob.
Well, this guy, he was a 3rd round pick in 2017, 105th overall. He and Bell are actually good friends. So, regardless of what happens with this disgruntled Bell in this situation, I mean, Steelers have room for optimism. 31 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he showed the ability to turn the corner quickly and to take some people head on and bust right through them. I was really impressed. So, and I love it when sophomores and 3rd-year guys start to break out a little bit because you get to go back and go, that 2017 product he's in, I didn't get it last when it was hot, but now I can go back and either have the chance to break it, pull it, or buy it outright. So his contenders, rookie ticket autographs, certified freshman fabric autos. I mean, good stuff from James Conner available in the hobby for sure.
Absolutely, and I think I showed a picture of a number to 6 nameplate from Immaculate, signed to nameplate that went recently on September 12th for $100. So still pretty low investment considering how low numbered that card is. So
he does have one of the worst signatures.
I was gonna say
you get 2 full initials. That's about it.
Yeah, not like Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has definitely a nice looking, clean signature. And one thing to remember about James Conner is that he actually fought through adversity in college, and he had Hodgkin's lymphoma. So
that's right. Yep.
He actually fought through that. So kind of got to show you that guy's a little bit headstrong. He's got, some people would probably quit after that. They just give up. And he fought through that, so he's got that fight in him, and we'll have to monitor the Lev Bell situation.
And he's a local kid, so
yeah. I was going to say the same thing, Dan.
Yeah.
He is a hometown hero that's revered and loved.
Yep. I mean, the only thing I'm concerned with is that it seems like any running back you plug into the Steelers system, including an aging D'Angelo Williams, got the job done. So is it the next man up that can do the same kind of job? We'll have to see here, and we'll also have to see with the rookie from this year, Jalen Samuels, if Jalen Samuels gets any carries going forward. So with, splitting with James Conner if Lev Bell's on the shelf.
Great point.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I would say if you have a nice RPA of James Conner, it's probably kind of peak time to maybe possibly sell it if you're looking to sell. I know we're talking about collecting and investing here, but, don't know if Lev Bell could come back and that Immaculate card could be back down to like $30-40. So if James Conner isn't a guy that you want to hold on to, you hit him in a break or whatnot, might be the time to throw up.
But it is
some of those
also,
low-numbered autos.
there is, after this season, he looks like he's going to be the future running back of the Steelers. Bell is not going to be there.
True. Good point.
So, I mean, there may be a little bit of dip if Bell comes back, but you got to look for next year too.
Right.
So
that's true.
It's a good point. I mean, he's a guy that I think you can say has short-term and long-term
Yep.
potential.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, and that brings us to our next guy, Joe Mixon, the pride of Antioch, California. Rob, what did you see from Joe Mixon?
Some impressive, just headstrong running. That guy's not afraid of anybody. The way he takes on tacklers, I'm going to bite my tongue for saying this. It reminds me a little bit of Peyton, where he looks for contact. And, this guy's had some off-field issues, but he seems like he's put that behind him. And if he can be the go-to guy and focus on football, I think the Bengals and their fans are going to be pleasantly pleased with this guy who they were hoping could be the workhorse running back that the Bengals need.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got Gio Bernard to compete with pretty much, who's just a kind of a pass-catching third down type of back. So this guy's kind of more their workhorse, and he's very versatile. And from an auto standpoint, doesn't look bad. He's got a little star in his auto, visually appealing, right?
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people were high on him last year, and he had, a fair season, but I think he's going to have a breakout season this year.
I never noticed the star because Alvin Kamara also has a star in both same year.
Yep.
And rookie running backs last year.
Hey,
they both have stars in their auto, which is cool. I mean,
saying he's going to be a star.
He's going to be a star. I like it.
Do it up. I mean, the only thing, so you could see RPAs of Mixon recently sold for a best offer of $139 or lower, whatever it was accepted, maybe around $99. That's not a bad investment, especially if he does well and he goes over the century mark a lot and has a lot of touchdowns. My only concern is obviously the glaring bruise on Joe Mixon is that video. I know it was in 2014. But I don't know if he's contributing to women's foundations or what to kind of get past that, but. That worries me that, maybe collectors are going to shy away because of that incident. I know it was a young kid, and I know there was some back and forth, but the video, which I think I have in the next slide here, is not a good look for the kid. So hopefully, what do you think?
I think you put it best though, kid. That was 4 years ago. We're all allowed to mature.
Nothing good happens at 2:39 a.m. I'll tell you
ever.
Very true. I didn't even realize that until I had put a Photoshop video there. 2:39 a.m. That's right. That's right. So, yeah, so we'll have to see on Joe Mixon. The last AFC guy is Juju Smith, which I have on a few fantasy teams. I like this guy a lot. Real flashy. What did you see with Juju, Rob?
Well, first of all, I love being able to put him on any list because his name is just so fun to say. I mean,
right?
Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, he officially changed his name to Juju. I mean, a Pac-10 favorite from USC. Definitely a potential star in the making. I mean, think about him and Brown on opposite sides of the field. Who's your matchup against? 119 yards on 5 receptions, so he's got that big play capability. Presents lots of options for Roethlisberger. And I know he was in the spotlight in 2017 as a hot rookie wide receiver. I think he's only going to get better and better.
Absolutely. And you know, for a short-handed auto, his auto looks pretty good. You know, and it's consistent. He's mastered the short auto real quick without going, oh, my God, your auto sucks. Did you guys see?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You know?
So we've got 2 guys on this list that are initial guys and 2 guys with star guys.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
I know, right? Well, I was putting this together, and I was like, hey, we should definitely – and then you brought it up before I even brought it up – was the fact we should talk about these guys' autos because it's so important to this hobby and how these autos look. And I almost think it corresponds with success. So if you look back, a lot of guys that don't have great autos don't seem to pan out. So I think it says a lot when you're collecting a guy and his auto kind of is suspect.
I would like to see some empirical data behind that
you know?
statement there.
Exactly. Does somebody want to get down on that? Like, somebody want to do some research? Who has the worst visually appealing auto that's had the most success? You know, because you look at like
got homework for
right?
the next show.
Exactly. But you look at like Andrew Luck, great looking auto. Brett Favre, great looking auto. Aaron Rodgers, great looking auto. You know, Peyton Manning, great looking auto.
Johnny Manziel, great looking auto.
Well, yeah, it doesn't always cross over, but I think it's more so on the crap autos don't transfer to success. Sometimes good autos can also be crap players too. So, you know, and they're all better than us at what they do anyway. So I mean, you know, it's one thing for me to sit back and say that stuff. But let's go ahead and move on to NFC. We got a couple guys to talk about in the NFC for standouts. These are rookies and sophomores we're going over, and this is courtesy of Go GTS Live and Rob Bertrand. And let's talk about Saquon Barkley, the most hyped guy in this whole class.
Absolutely. He had a lot to live up to expectation-wise, and I think he did. Now, a lot of people say, well, subtract that 68-yard run, and what do you have? Well, listen, that's why you pay the guy. That's why you selected the guy, was to get in the end zone. And so he's got that big play potential and the capability to bust one at any time. So can he continue to do that? Time will tell, obviously. It was tough loss for their team. But again, skill player, top draft pick, big market, bright lights, big city. I think he lived up to the hype, at least for game 1.
And they were playing the Jags, which wasn't an easy task, and one of the best defenses in the league. And, you know, they were doing a good job of shutting him down, but then he got that 68-yard run. And what I've seen here is his prices are dipping just a bit from that offseason hype. So I don't know what to say about it. I mean, 140 for a Spectra or for an Origins blue auto to 49 patch auto. So there could be some room for it to go up a little bit. As far as auto visually, I'm not a huge fan of Saquon Barkley's auto. I don't know what you guys think, but
it's just the SB.
Just the SB, and it can get a little sloppy at times.
It's better than Royce Freeman.
Yeah,
Royce Freeman's got a I mean, he truly is just RF.
Yeah.
On every auto I've seen of his so far. Jamon Moore, pretty bad.
Oh yeah, probably the worst.
J. Dot
and J.R. Alexander from the Packers as well.
Yep.
So, do you think the price dips are a result of just the volume out at this point?
I think a little bit of that. And I always say, you know, we've been watching these markets for the last 8 years. It seems like it's better for the guy to not play in a regular season game than to play, especially with baseball. Like Vladimir Guerrero's prices right now are through the roof. I mean, he would have to come out and hit 5 home runs in his first game to basically continue that path.
We were talking in the live feed during a break. Was there a Vladimir Guerrero auto that just sold for
$11,000 an orange refractor,
$11,000 for an orange refractor, who is a kid who is at least a year away from making his major league debut.
Yeah,
$11,000.
I think that's what the blessing and the curse of this hobby is we invest in the hype. We almost don't want. It would have been better if Saquon didn't even play this whole year. Probably his prices would have continued. I mean, obviously, if he didn't play for injury reasons, they wouldn't. But say he's going to go do something for a year.
Well, you see that with quarterbacks.
Yeah,
and you'll go the whole season, and their market will not necessarily go up, but it will be stable. It'll be at a certain price throughout the whole year. So if you look at somebody like, let's say, Rosen doesn't play this year. His cards are going to be pretty steady all year. If he plays, there could be a huge dip.
Right.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's they need to come out really good to kind of increase that value, especially if you're not dealing with a quarterback. You're dealing with a running back or a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks always seem to hold their value the most for the football card market. Running backs and receivers are kind of situational, in my opinion. So
you think you think right now is a good time to invest in Josh Allen? He's getting the start this week.
Could be, depending on the price.
Definitely could be. I mean, you brought up a great scenario, just to backtrack a little bit, with Vladimir Guerrero. I just checked the card that you're referring to. There's 2 of them that have sold for over $11,000. Well, one is $1 less. So let's just count it. Okay.
Okay.
you got the orange number to 25, another orange number to 25 for 11.2, and then the Superfractor 1 of 1 went for 15 on August 26, and it's BGS 9 out of 10. My question is, where is the upside on something like that? That guy's going to have to hit, like you said, 300 and multiple home runs out of the box. I don't get that early speculation at that level, but I'll tell you, must be plenty of people with that kind of money out there, because there's no sign of it slowing down.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
Doug had a good point about Vladimir Guerrero. In the 8 years we've been doing this, name a Blue Jay that was basically in the marketplace that was driving products.
Yeah.
Josh Donaldson won an MVP. His cards didn't really do much.
Jose Batista
was one of the best power hitters in the league for 3 to 4 years. He wasn't driving the market up on his cards. So you also
something to be said about pedigree, huh?
You gotta be concerned that he plays with
Toronto. Yeah, but I mean, what Rob just said is a good point. Is the namesake? That's the wild card here in this situation. Is the namesake and the fact that he's almost batting 400 in minors and he's 19. So it's like, man, this guy's the next Babe Ruth, or this guy's the next, whatever. He's going to be the best player in the league. He's going to be better than Trout. That's what these people that are investing this money in are thinking.
But the upside,
and they may be right. You never know.
The upside for his card, he has to come out and he has to basically be a Hall of Famer, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So he hasn't
no pressure.
No pressure. He hasn't even seen for his first pitch in the major leagues. But in order for that card to go up, he has to be a Hall of Famer. He has to be one of the greatest players ever to play the game.
757 is what he needs.
Yeah.
757 to get up there and knock off Bonds. So last guy for the NFC, we got Alvin Kamara, he's really surprised. And I'll tell you my thoughts after Rob talks about Alvin Kamara. It was really shocking when I looked up Alvin Kamara's cards. But let's talk about Alvin Kamara's week 1.
Undervalued and should be on everybody's radar. Is he a running back? Is he a wide receiver? You want to talk about some place that put him anywhere. He's going to produce for you. 112 yards on 9 receptions, 1 touchdown, 29 yards rushing, 2 additional scores in a loss, and a high shootout score against the Bucks. He was the AP's NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I think he's still under the radar for some people.
Yeah. I was absolutely shocked to see a Contenders base auto of him sold for $27 after week 1. I'm like,
a steal.
Yeah. I'm like,
steal.
What the heck is going on? The guy's super talented, can do a lot of things on the field. How many receptions did you say he had? 11 or something?
He had 10 or 11.
That's
he went over the century mark. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. He had a receiving touchdown. Even when Ingram gets back, Kamara's still gonna get his touches.
Well, he's far more explosive
absolutely.
than Ingram, obviously. He's so fast. Ingram's a power back. He's more of a fast,
and is it
versatile
Kamara
back.
or Kamara?
Tomato.
I think it's host choice.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, it befuddled me to the fact that what this guy's done and his cards are selling for 27. Is it New Orleans? Is it he's a running back? Is it? I mean, what is it? What does this guy have to do? Does he have to get 300 yards in a game for anybody to start buying it? I mean, he had that hype last year. Have we already moved on past somebody from a year ago?
He's had 3 touchdowns.
It's his
3
defense.
touchdowns in week 1.
It's his defense. C-Rat said.
But yeah, $27 is. I mean that's a steal. That's a great. I mean that's.
Yeah, so of all the players on this list, I think he's the one that you might go a little bit long on, because you scoop up a handful of these at that price, I think you can make money on them. But more than that, I love the way the guy plays the game, you know? Multifaceted, just a beast.
Yeah, and he was in Drake's new video, so obviously he gets the approval from Drake.
Props there,
You know what I'm saying? You know, so that must be something there, you know?
Absolutely.
So, but that pretty much ends out that segment. Go GTS Live, the Hobbies web show, airs every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. The show is streamed in simulcast on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Periscope on Twitter. Regular segments include hobby happenings, a look at the hobby-related news and notes, Hot in the Shop, a preview of the next week's new product releases, guest interviews with industry personnel and hobby personalities, live box breaks where the big hits are always given away to the members of the live audience. You can follow them on Twitter at GoGTSLive. You can like them on Facebook at facebook.com/GoGTSLive and Instagram GTS_sports_entertainment. So, Rob, thanks for coming on the show.
Dude, you rock. It was absolutely my pleasure. Be sure to stop by. Anybody who watched this, we've got about $1,200 in product we're breaking and giving away the hits, including Luminaries, Undisputed, Vanguard, Absolute, and we're going to have the worldwide box break debut of Cryptozoics Supergirl Season 1.
Ooh,
and
nice.
Like you said, we always give away the hits. Next week's our 100th episode anniversary, and we've
Congrats.
put a huge prize package together. So lots of opportunities to win. We love to give back to people in the hobby. Hey, thanks for having me. I can't wait to have you guys back on our show and look forward to doing this again.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks again, Rob. Take
Thanks,
care,
Rob.
buddy.
You got it, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
That was
Yeah, that
awesome.
was a lot of fun, and you know, GTS is, and this is, I'm not just saying this because Rob was on our show. GTS is our #1 distributor, and you know, they've taken care of us. I mean, they give us you know, a lot of help at the booth at the National. They provide us with the best prices on all of our products, and they seem to always have them, you know, available. So there's a lot of distributor choices. If you're a breaker listening to this show, or if you're a shop owner listening to this show, and you're not dealing with GTS, I don't know what you're doing, to be honest. And I'm saying that from the heart, not just because he's on the show. We deal with everybody, and we've tried to go to other distributors, and GTS seems like the
and they have
the best
they have the most
option.
they have the most locations. So
Yeah.
no matter where you are in the country,
Yeah, you're always a couple days shipping.
You're
ship
always
at the
always
most.
1 or 2 days ship, and yeah, it's for 8 years. It's been a phenomenal partnership between Mojo Break and GTS. So yeah, I'd like to thanks Rob. Rob is awesome for coming on. That was a blast. A lot of good information. That was a lot of information condensed in a small segment. That I think we were
Absolutely.
supposed to go 15 minutes, but we went probably about 35 minutes.
Yeah, just
which
kept
is-
going.
which is pretty typical of us.
Yes. Tangents. No, but good conversation. I mean, like I said, dear friend of ours, every event that we're at together, we always have great conversation and business ideas and things like that. And we were honored to have him on the show and do this crosstalk promotion here with him. And look for Dan to be on his show next. So
Keep calm and go Raiders.
yeah, what is that all about?
Whatever we just
I don't know how that got on the screen.
so who are your Raiders playing next week?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And that's it.
I thought you just threw me a softball there. Who are the Raiders playing, by the way?
We don't know.
Is it the Chiefs, maybe?
Could be the Chiefs.
I hope not the Chiefs. Not yet.
Could be a divisional game. I know the Rams are playing the Cardinals, so I think there's gonna be a lot of division games this week, and it could be the Broncos. Could be the
It is a
the Los
divisional game
Angeles
against Broncos.
The Los Angeles
Ooh,
Super
that might be a pretty good game. Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah. Because they have, you know, old
Hey,
Case
man.
Keenum.
Hey, 0-2 isn't that bad to start the season.
I'm headed to Vegas next week. You want me to grab you a hat? Oh,
Vegas
No,
Raiders.
but you could put $500 down for me that Raiders are gonna beat Broncos straight out.
there we go.
Oh.
Ooh, okay. Hey, you know what? I was thinking about it, though. If my team moved to Vegas and I'm just one state over, I mean, that is another reason to go to Vegas right there. So hey, that's the blessing of the curse situation.
You know, being a fan where my team actually did move away, you can't turn your back on your team.
No.
I've never
fake fans.
understood. I mean, I stayed a Rams fan when they went to St. Louis, and then obviously they come back home.
Respect.
And now they're gonna win a Super Bowl. So it's great. It's great. It's a
I mean,
great.
look at the Niners. They're in Santa Clara. Who the heck knows where that city is?
I know, Santa Clara. That's why they still call it San Francisco.
That's true.
I grew up there, and I understand why nobody else knows where Santa Clara is. It was an odd choice. 45 minutes away from San Francisco.
San
actually.
Francisco 49ers of Santa Clara County.
Yeah, it's included all in one title. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get live for Spectra case, or 4-box number 2 is breaking next, and I think we have a sold-out Spectra random following that. So more Spectra, more Bowman, high-tech. We got luminaries today, random player style. We got lots of stuff going down, and we're going to play the outro. And I will actually not see you guys until Monday. I'm headed off to see Mickey, so we'll see you guys. But you guys got Dan and C-Rad to hold down the fort, and we'll see you guys on the hype next week. Peace out.
Peace.
And